Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and I figure I should make a quick part just talking about why there are certain gaps in the Unrehearsed Creepypasta playlist. And, well, granted, I don't care about the possibility of being demonetized because I never plan to make a cent off this channel. I don't want this to ever be like a job or anything. I just like rambling at my computer. I like having someone to talk to. So, I like Let's Plays. I like trying to sing even though I'm terrible at it. And I enjoy the stories of creepypastas. Mainly because I just find stories fascinating. I kind of have a pathological need to read things. Heck, I remember trying to play a little SCP Containment Breach, and you're having to run away from monsters, but I keep seeing posters of words, and I just want to read everything. And same thing with this. It's nice to be able to express yourself. Granted, I am very self-aware that my channel is the most cringiest, most cursed place on the internet. Me just being myself is probably a bit weird and uncomfortable for anyone listening. But I just like trying to make videos. I like rambling at my computer. Hopefully the Let's Play videos I do get laughs out of people. Heck, you could always check out the blind Let's Plays of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. Or the Perfect Apocalypse trilogy. Or me trying to scream my head off at Jubilee, which I still need to try 100% that at some point. Or, I played things like Super Meat Boy or Thumper or Splasher. Oh my god, I raged at that thing. And I enjoy trying to sing. But I would say that there's probably been close to bare minimum 50 videos. There's at least been 50 plus videos that I never even tried to upload at all. There's at least been like 50 videos I've made where I just, at the end of recording it, I just delete the video and I never upload it at all. Then there are other videos which is part of why I'm making this video here to explain, is that there are some videos where I do have to take the video down due to copyrights. Because like I said, I don't care about demonetization, but I do understand if people do not want me to use their music or a certain thumbnail. I understand. And I don't mind taking it down if it's asked. So that's why there are certain pieces of, well, that doesn't explain all the creepypastas that are missing. There are also, like I said, there's at least been 50 videos I never uploaded at all. And then there's some videos, some even in the creepypasta playlists, where upon re-listening to the video, I decided I was just a little bit too emotional while reading the story. Because some of these stories are, I'm not saying the ones that you get to hear are badly written, I'm just saying some of them I think I just don't have the constitution for. Heck, it's a funny thing. I enjoy movies like Hellraiser or Puppet Master, but it's partly just because I have a fascination with stories, with art, with music, and the funny thing is, while I enjoy the violent movies, I would prefer a world of pacifism, a world where no one hurts anyone. I just find stories fascinating. Plus, probably adrenaline and endorphins too, but I think that's everybody. I mean, there's a reason why certain movies are blockbuster hits. But like I said, there's at least been 50 plus videos I never upload at all. I just delete and never upload it at all. And there are some videos that I'll take down myself just because I feel that I got a little too personal or too emotionally upset during the video. Sometimes in reaction to a story, if it's a particularly sad creepypasta. And sometimes, like in general, sometimes this channel is a way for me to vent or talk about my feelings. And sometimes I get too personal about that or too emotional, and I just don't feel comfortable sharing that much. Beyond that, I do hope that other people, if they hear me talking about my emotions and stuff, that they'll be more open to talk about their emotions and stuff too. Because in general, it's not good to bottle up your feelings. And yes, I'm sure the videos me talking about my feelings in any way are cringy as fuck. But I say that's all the more reason to talk about it. There are probably so many people out there who have all sorts of things that bother them, and they just keep it bottled up and they don't talk to anyone. So it's good to be able to talk about your feelings. And granted, there's a time and place for everything, and I understand a lot of life is you can't really be crying in public and stuff. You know, that's obvious. I mean, take me for instance. In public, I'm a very stoic individual. The only times people have seen me cry in public, it usually involved, you know, gratuitous physical pain, or people died. So, but aside from that, I mean, I'll be honest, most of the time, I almost have a constant urge to just crawl on the ground and curl in a ball and start crying. But I don't do that. Same way if I have a panic attack or anything, I just sort of ignore it and pretend it's not real. You know? In general, I tend to be very stoic and not really express certain emotions. Granted, there were times where certain things happened. I did talk a few of my friends' ears off, which I think annoyed the shit out of them. But I had to. Stuff happened. I was in a lot of pain, and I mean, I'll tell this to the, I assume, FBI agents that probably watched my channel. Which, again, I'm sorry you have to sit through all this stuff, especially the 5.5 hour long video of me singing the Banana Phone song over and over. At least you know I'm non-violent. I'm non-violent and I would never hurt anyone. I will, however, talk about my feelings and be very cringy. But at least you know I'll never hurt anyone. I'll just make odd videos and talk about my feelings. Or make silly jokes and try to make whatever random viewer I have laugh. But in general, this is just, well, the same as this video is right here. It's a jumbled mess of me just rambling. That's all this channel is. It's me rambling about whatever's on my mind that day. And I just like being able to express myself. I never planned to make a cent off this. Granted, I already have more viewers than I ever thought possible. So that's awesome. Although it does probably give me a slight bit of anxiety that there actually might be someone listening to me at some point. Which other one? I don't know. I'm just very negative, I guess. Why am I already out of breath? I'm tired. But, yeah. It's just, I could have 1 million fucking subscribers. I would never partner with YouTube. I don't want to make a cent. I don't want a Patreon or any of that sort of stuff, or a sponsor. I just want to make videos where I ramble about whatever's on my mind. If other people enjoy it, that's a nice little bonus. I just want to be able to talk about whatever's on my mind and relax and just do whatever I want. Even if it is play a video game and yell at and scream at it, or read a scary story, or do terrible karaoke, or just try to do a movie review like I did of Bullet Train. Called that one Daniel Stern Bullet Train. But I don't know. Part of me always wonders, as far as the feelings or emotions I express, if there are other people out there that feel the same way I do. But yeah, there's some videos that I just don't ever even upload at all, just because I want to be getting too emotional on it. And then there's videos I take down myself just because I decide it's just too painful to listen to certain things. One, for instance, I was never able to upload. I actually attempted to. Back in early February of 2022, I recorded the original version of a video that was supposed to be Terrible Karaoke Guess the Anime Character number 7. I recorded for 13.5 hours plus. I attempted to upload it, but after a few hours of it attempting to upload, YouTube finally told me it couldn't upload because it wouldn't upload anything over 12 hours. I consider the possibility of trying to figure out how to cut up the video into smaller pieces. I also consider just re-recording it into smaller chunks. In the end, I did make a video called Terrible Karaoke Guess the Anime Character number 7, where I re-recorded a very small excerpt out of the almost 14-hour video. But the rest of it I deleted. I would say it was about the 3-hour mark into that video I started crying. By the 5-hour mark, I was crying, laughing, and screaming all at once. And that just kept going for hours. Then by around hour 8, I just sort of started shaking and projectile vomiting everywhere. I guess human bodies only handle so much anxiety and stress, and I guess there's a limit to how much I can actually feel emotional about stuff that bothers me before I start just apparently violently vomiting everywhere. And then after that I passed out for about 20 minutes to half an hour, while occasionally screaming in my sleep. And I got back up, video still recording, recomposed myself, and then I did a tiny bit more singing and stuff, and tried to pass myself off as completely A-okay. And so that excerpt I recorded had a little clip from toward the very beginning and toward after I had recomposed myself. And of course, there's some voice of me, explaining it at the very start before I start composing everything. But main thing I'm just trying to say is it's good for people to express their feelings. And I don't know, like I would say, what's the point? Like, what I'm trying to convey to anyone, there not really isn't a point. It's just, I mean, if I wasn't recording, I'd just be pacing around my living room. Well, I would say I would be, but I mean, I was just doing that earlier. I was just pacing. I'll still do that every day to some degree. Some days, honestly, I'd say every single day I'm still doing at least a little bit of pacing around my living room, talking to myself, or talking to my reflection, or sitting in my son's room talking to his stuffed animals. Or maybe I'll go for a walk and go to Dairy Queen, though usually I'll just drive my car. I'm sorry I'm being quiet. I can't think of what to say. I have different things going through my mind that I want to say. but I don't know how to describe anything. But it's, even if I'm saying nothing, even if everything I say is cringy and weird and stupid and cursed, even if anyone listening to me would just feel that I'm just some pathetic loser, I can't say I disagree with you. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a failure at everything. And there's nothing that makes me special or really of any value. But it's still nice to be able to talk. So, I guess if anything I'm trying to say to other people out there is, if other people feel the same way I do, then I guess you at least know you're not alone. That there's someone else out there like you. That you're not the only one. And the only thing I have to say to you, aside from that you're not alone, is it's good to talk about things. And there are some videos, like I said, main reason I started this video, this one, there are certain gaps in the unrehearsed creepypastas because, well, I've been a little I don't know the right word for it. Honestly, I've just been using whatever music pops into my head that expresses how I feel at that moment. Part 71. I read for the very first time, a blind reading of a story called Hogs from the Creepypasta website. I can't remember who wrote it. I already deleted the video since there was a copyright request for it to be taken down. Not a strike or anything. It just said, please take the video down. It appears that they objected to not just the use of the background music I chose, but they also disliked the background image I chose. And the other thing is, it's not like I showed anything inappropriate. It's that they felt that the picture I showed was a copyright issue, which I wasn't really aware that was a thing that was possible. But between the picture and the background music, both were concerns. But that's fine. I don't mind taking a video down. After all, I did use music, and I did use a picture. It's not like it was me playing a video game. It was me sitting reading a scary story for the first time, having no idea what the story was about, with a picture from a movie, with music from a major band. So, it's completely fair that they asked me to take the video down. And like I said, I don't mind complying with that. I'm just happy I was able to make the video at all. Would have been nice if somebody had seen it, but honestly, no one's going to watch any of these videos anyway. Besides, another thing is I seem to get, even though I seem like I'm aware that I'm fucking up the audio balancing and all that, and being a bit excessive with some of the music too. I mentioned it in part 69, but I'm trying to fix the audio balancing, but for whatever reason I'm doing the scary stories. I don't know if I just am that technically inept, or if it's just the way I emotionally feel at that time. But I just can't seem to, maybe just hearing quality, I don't know, I just suck at techniques, I guess. But it just seems like I'm going to do some more creepypasta narrations. Probably 8 or so more, I haven't decided. But probably after I do the rest of the ones I do today, I probably won't read anymore again, and not because of the copyright issues. It's more so, granted, I haven't been sleeping very well because I've been working a lot of overtime. But also, the stories probably haven't been helping me sleep either. But they're still good distractions from real life things that bother me. So that's good. That being said, I go way too long with these videos where I just sort of free-form talk. This video is just supposed to be, hey guys, there are going to be some gaps in the unrehearsed creepypastas where either a thumbnail or a background music, had a copyright issue and I had to delete the video. And yeah. I don't remember who wrote the story, Hogs. If the author of that story would want me to try to reread the story, let me know. But since the video that was titled the name of your story is deleted, even if you searched your own video, your own story, you wouldn't find me. You wouldn't find that video. So I don't know why you would ever even know this video exists. But if you wanted me to try to reread the Hog story, as long as I would still have access to the story, I don't know. I feel like I just want to crawl back in bed. Heck. I remember back in a time when YouTube was still fairly early on. Before Markiplier even made his first video. Watching people do Let's Plays. It was just always so enjoyable to me. Though, anytime I ever brought it up to any of my friends, they always thought it was beyond incredibly nerdy. And I keep in mind this is a time where watching anime was considered weird and a thing only a couple people did. And yet even when I mentioned to other people that watched anime, they felt the idea of somebody doing a Let's Play was just stupid. But to me, it was interesting. It's fascinating. It was hilarious. Proton John S.A., DDR Maniac 007, Zeta Plays, Zakana Sir Eldrick, Ultra J Man, Hypersonic X2, Cloud 8745. Slow Beef, Deceased Crab, Tatsudoshi. It was just so enjoyable, and it's interesting. Back then, the people back then, YouTube didn't even pay any of the content creators anything at all. And even back then, I wanted to be able to do Let's Plays, but I didn't have access to anything. I had no way of having something with the technical specs to be able to record anything. Nor did I have the privacy. And you might say, if you didn't really have any privacy or the ability to be quiet, like what was going on? I'm like, I don't really want to talk about that. But all I can say is, no, the talking to myself thing isn't entirely new, though it's in living a more isolated, withdrawn, depressed existence. I do talk to myself more, but that's just because I want someone to talk to. But I guess that's always been the case. I mean, I've always been, for lack of a better word, lonely, I guess. But usually what I would do is, sometimes I'd be in a small little area, only a few feet to walk back and forth, and I'd pace sometimes in the world's smallest circle, it seemed. And I'd have conversations with myself, and I'd be moving my mouth and talking with myself, but I wouldn't be making any noise because I felt if anyone heard me, they'd just be angry at me. But then again, that's how I feel toward everybody in the world. Despite my front and back door being locked and there being alarms, my bedroom door is locked, barricaded. I have iron dumbbells in front of it, chairs in front of it. Even when I stand in front of my mirror, I kind of expect, I'm looking at my reflection, expecting it to do something. I look at it, and even then I'll break my glance from that sometimes to look at the staircase, to make sure nothing's going up the staircase toward me. I go to a restaurant. I'm very discreet about this, mind you. No one can tell I'm doing this. But I look at everybody. I make sure I know everyone who's there, what they're doing, what the tone of their voice is, where they're looking, who's coming, where's going, where are the doors. There's always a concern when I'm in public that everybody around me is suddenly going to... I know it sounds juvenile. Heck, I think a good way to describe it is... Grant, I think I read a bit of this story myself once. But I think Mr. Creepypasta has a fuller version of it. And of course he's professional and much better at it. He's a narrator. A professional one at that. And I'm just some random guy who sometimes, if he's in the mood for it, makes a story reading a scary story without practicing it at all. Like I said, after I record this video, I'll make a handful more. But after that, I don't think I'll be in the mood for it anymore. Or ever again. Not for the creepypastas, anyway. This will be part 80, explaining why part 71 and some others aren't there. I'll still be doing plenty of other videos. Namely, Let's Plays. I'm not sure if I'll even do any more of my karaoke videos anymore. like singing anymore. It's weird. Even if it's a situation where there's expressly no way anyone could ever hear me, I'd want to talk. There's so many times I went and walked down bike trails. I remember back when MP3 players were considered a new thing. And I actually managed to buy one of the state-of-the-art MP3 players. It took one AA battery to run. And it had so much space on it, it actually allowed you to have 45 songs. And I'd walk down the bike trail with earbuds in, sometimes just quietly walking down the trail listening to music, and sometimes I wouldn't have earbuds in at all. And I'd be quietly just walking down the trail, not saying a word, just listening to the sound of the trees moving in the wind, occasionally seeing a squirrel or a bird, sometimes a person on a bicycle passing by. I would just sometimes go hours, not say a word, not really even thinking about anything, just taking everything in. And other times, both when I was listening to music and times where I wasn't, I'd be wrapped, enthralled even, completely immersed in having a conversation with myself. All sorts of random things. Sometimes world history, sometimes anime or manga or a video game, or fictional scenarios involving different anime characters meeting each other, or me discussing with myself about certain real-life problems I'm having and what I should do, or just talking about my feelings. There are sometimes I'd be lost in thought about it. There's a couple times I actually managed to get to the end of certain bike trails. And of course they had routes direct to another bike trail, but at that point it was already starting to get dark. I had been walking for, I think the longest I ever did was, I walked for 20 hours one day. I started before the sun came up, and the sun had already set before I even noticed anything had happened. I'd just been walking and talking about my thoughts and feelings that long. I was so thirsty. I should have brought a water bottle with me. Granted, that particular thing was probably about 18 years ago or so. I don't think I could walk nearly that long without my knees giving out on me now. Heck, there would be multiple times I'd be walking down that bike trail, talking to myself about things that are bothering me. And I would just have tears streaming down my face. And then sometimes I'd either hear a bike approaching from behind, or I'd see somebody off in the distance coming toward me. It was enough time for me to clean my face off, so that when they came by they couldn't see anything. Not that they would have cared if they did. Then again, I guess some part of me was concerned that if they saw that I was sad, then they would try to hurt me. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, I think I said it earlier in this video, is no matter what, even if there is no point to anything I say, It just helps me to be able to say it, even if all my thoughts and feelings are just meaningless garbage and not of any value. I still have to say them. And even if I wasn't recording it, I'd just be pacing my living room or laying in my bed talking to myself in the dark, or walking down a bike trail having that conversation anyway. I'd be having this same conversation even if I wasn't recording it. Even when it's a completely black screen like this, with no music, it at least gives me something to focus on while I talk. Otherwise, I get more and more lost in my thoughts. It also allows me to be able to look at a clock right there showing me how long I've been talking. So I can rationalize myself that, hey, you've been talking long enough, Lunar. It's time to end the video and maybe delete another one. Because at least I haven't gotten that emotional in this video. But still, it's much more emotion than I ever show in public. Heck, I do show a lot of happiness and smiles in public, and I'm frequently making jokes and trying to make people laugh. I just want to go back to bed. And I have the need to just be able to talk. And like I said, there have been times where I wasn't able to go anywhere, and there are times where I couldn't make noise. But I would still have to talk, and it would be more than just thinking it strongly. I actually had to move my mouth and talk with myself as if I was having a conversation. I just wouldn't make any noise. I'd move my lips as if I was talking, saying and enunciating every word I would have been saying. But I would be purposely making no noise at all, so no one would be able to hear me. And there are sometimes, like I said, at least sitting here in front of a computer helps me cut down on it. But even though I do these videos, I'll still pace around my living room and talk to myself about anything and everything. Sometimes I start doing it in the way that where I'm not making noise again. And I have to catch myself and remind myself that I'm allowed to talk out loud. But yeah, if anyone is listening to this, if you feel the same way as me, then I guess at least you're not alone. And even if you do or don't feel, or I'm not sure how to describe it, at least I don't know if anyone feels the way I do about things. Heck, at least a more wholesome version of this is I made a video once called The Ultimate Male Fantasy. At least that was a more wholesome version of whatever the hell this is. But part of me just wants to know if other people do feel the same way I do. And if so, how many people out there feel the way I do? How many people feel like this? And to whatever listeners out there, I don't know what you're going through or what your life is like or what kind of person you are. But I can say, whatever you're feeling, it helps to talk about it. I just hope you have better success than I do. But I'd say it's the same thing I would always say. I wish you all the best, and anyone to listen to this, I want you to be happy. I want you to do what's best for you. So honestly, I don't know what that would even start to be. Like I said, for anyone listening to this, there is no point to this story. It helps. It helps me to be able to talk. And I imagine people would criticize me, saying that regardless of whatever's happened, I should just move on and not care about anything. And what I have to say to that is, this is me moving on. This is me continuing on. This is me talking, as opposed to just saying talking about things helps. So, if there's anything bothering any of you out there, then, talk to your family, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend. Make your own Let's Play channel. Start rambling at your computer the way I do. I don't know. But I don't know. Just I don't know how to end the video. I feel like I should be able to give you guys some uplifting message, or tell you like, oh, this is what you should do if you're feeling down and this will help you. I have no answers. I have nothing uplifting I can say. There is no help I can give you.